Tonight on News 3 at 10, Dane County fire crews are being called to a huge recycling plant fire in Racine County. Plus, as the 4th of July holiday gets closer, a warning from authorities about the dangers of the season. And a little girl is overcoming some big obstacles and becoming a rock star in the process. We'll introduce you to McKay.
This is News 3 at 10.
At least 35 different fire departments, now including those from Dane County, are being called to a fire at a recycling plant in Racine County tonight. The blaze broke out at John's Disposal in Norway just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. Authorities say they don't know what caused the fire, but it started in the yard and quickly spread to a building. Officials say the fire will burn for several days before it's completely out, as it smolders hundreds of pounds of cardboard, paper, and plastic. No injuries have been reported so far. To weather now, meteorologist Dave Caulfield breaks down a crazy day of weather for us.
Amanda, the second straight day of severe weather for southern Wisconsin has come to an end this evening. The showers and storms have moved well off to the east. Downtown Madison, the Edgewater Skycam looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures have moved into the 60s and 70s, so quite a bit cooler than this afternoon. Dew points are right around 60 degrees, so not as humid as we have been, but still a little bit on the humid side. Wind speeds are out of the west after that cold front went through, west and northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Your day planner for tomorrow, temperatures starting off in the 60s, heading into the mid 80s, but real feels could make it feel like the low 90s. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk about some more heat and humidity on the way and what to expect for Independence Day in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Dave. And speaking of Independence Day, as we head into the 4th of July week, we are reminded about the dangers of the season. More than 100 Wisconsinites were injured last year from incidents involving fireworks. Josh Sprider talked to officials about how you can stay safe this year.
There were 250 emergency room visits over the 4th of July last year nationwide, all of them due to improper use of fireworks.
Don't be afraid to just leave the fireworks to the professionals. They can be extremely dangerous and can easily lead to dangerous situations for your family or just bystanders watching the show.
Andrew Beckett with Ready Wisconsin says safe handling of fireworks is always prevention rather than treatment. That means keeping kids away from fireworks or even matches and not mixing alcohol into the fun.
We just ask people to make sure that they're taking safety precautions if they decide to set them off themselves. I mean, really, the decision to set off fireworks is a personal one, and it's something that people need to evaluate whether or not they can do it safely.
And you may be surprised it's not the big fireworks causing the most injuries. Doctors tell us sparklers lead to the most injuries to the hands, arms, and even face.
The most common thing that we see with sparklers still is hand burns. And hand burns are important because your hand is really important to your function in everyday life.
No matter the burn, doctors say it's important to see a medical professional right away. First, you can run it under cool but not cold water, place aloe vera on the skin, and for pain relief, over-the-counter meds like ibuprofen.
Even minor burns that look minor initially can progress to worse burns because you don't always see some of the outside signs of the burns that can be deeper underneath the surface.
Experts say if you plan on using a firework, you're clear from buildings and structures and also trees. You also have a water source nearby, and it's also important to make sure there's no debris lying around the area. Josh Sprider, WISC News 3.
Thank you, Josh. Well, Ready Wisconsin says it's important to buy fireworks from reputable dealers only. Also, make sure it is legal to set off where you plan to, because there are still restrictions on when and where fireworks can go off. Continuing coverage tonight out of eastern Wisconsin, authorities say a second person has died from a home explosion in Oneida, about 15 miles from Green Bay. Police say they found 27-year-old Emily Tank in the wreckage from yesterday morning's blast. 65-year-old Alan Weisler discovered near a ditch after the explosion. He died this morning at a Madison hospital from severe burns. While authorities say there are some indications it could have been caused by a gas leak, they aren't ruling anything out. One person was taken to the hospital following a house fire in Janesville early this morning. The fire department responded just after midnight to a duplex on Beloit Avenue. When they got there, they found everyone was out of both units, and they were able to quickly extinguish that fire. One person had non-life-threatening injuries, and damage is estimated at just under $70,000. The cause is still under investigation. Madison police say they arrested a convicted sex offender after a woman told them she saw the man nude in a school parking lot this morning. 41-year-old David Humphrey has been arrested on suspicion of disorderly conduct. Police say a woman was biking on the Cannonball bike path when she saw him without any clothes on, smoking a cigarette and watching her from the Leopold Elementary parking lot. When officers arrived, he was fully clothed, but police say he made incriminating statements. Verona police say over the last 24 hours, they've responded to 3 car thefts. So far, only 1 suspect has been found. All of the cars were unlocked with the keys left inside. Verona police say keeping car doors locked, not keeping keys inside the vehicle, and even leaving outside lights on during the night can help prevent thefts like these. A Sun Prairie man convicted for beheading his mother in 2015 has died after a battle with cancer. A judge had just signed off on a conditional release plan for 43-year-old Matthew Skalitsky last week, who was serving time at the Mendota Mental Health Facility. He asked to be released in order to die with dignity at an assisted living home. The court found he would not pose a significant risk to himself or to others. In national headlines, Idaho police say 9 people were hurt in a stabbing attack at an apartment complex, 6 of those people children. Boise police say 30-year-old Timmy Kinner was staying with a resident of the apartment complex until he was asked to leave on Friday. He then allegedly came back on Saturday and went on a stabbing spree at a 3-year-old girl's birthday party. The 3-year-old, along with 5 other children, 4 to 12 years old, and 3 adults were injured. Some are gravely injured. The Maryland newspaper, where 5 people were killed in a mass shooting last week, says they've received death threats and emails celebrating the shootings following that attack. The Capital Gazette out of Annapolis revealed the threats in a Sunday editorial. The paper also thanked the community for its support following the shooting. Meantime, 2 reporters inside at the time went on CNN's Reliable Sources to talk about their experience. One said she survived because she was able to hide so well.
I was very scared because I was bleeding pretty badly, and if he had just looked over and seen the trail of blood to where I was, I think it would have been like a fairly easy thing to find me.
The suspect, 38-year-old Jared Ramos, is accused of killing 5 people and wounding 2 more. Court documents show a long simmering grudge against the paper, including a defamation lawsuit in 2012. An update from a story we brought you last night. Federal emergency officials must extend vouchers for temporary housing for Puerto Rican hurricane evacuees. Nearly 1,700 Puerto Ricans housed in hotels across the country were about to be evicted as their assistance vouchers were set to expire. A civil rights group demanded an injunction, and FEMA declined to comment, but the agency confirmed it was working to notify hotels to extend aid until July 5th to comply with that order. Wisconsin beekeepers and maple syrup producers are fighting an FDA nutrition labeling proposal designed to educate people about added sugars. The proposal would put the words added sugar on products that contain an excess amount of sugar added to a typical diet. But honey and maple syrup providers say the wording is misleading, saying it suggests there's added sugar to the product when there's not. The FDA noted the feedback indicates its proposal was not as clear as they intended and are looking forward to, quote, working with stakeholders to devise a sensible solution. New at 10 tonight, a non-traditional day camp in Madison is introducing young girls to a whole new world. Our Madeline O'Neill shares the story of one 11-year-old whose life was changed by the experience.
Oh my God.
She's very outgoing, very intelligent, she's very friendly.
Rock and roll. I think it's supposed to be purple.
I think she's very talented.
Those are qualities that are obvious in 11-year-old McKay Campbell if you spend some time with her.
Wherever we go in life, people stare, people point.
But they're often overlooked.
It's tough being a kid who looks different.
Here, it's not about how you look, but how you sound.
It's the most fun camp you could ever go to.
It's Girls Rock Camp Madison, co-founded by Beth Killey to give girls a voice.
If they can pick an instrument they've never played before, form a band with 4 kids they just met, write a song, and rock out in front of hundreds of screaming people at the end of the week, they can do anything.
McKay from Green Bay has set her mind to learning a new instrument each year, building upon her love of music.
It means so much to me.
But she says it's really about the girls beside her on stage.
Meeting new friends.
That's when she just really started coming alive.
Her mom, Connie, says the camp has really helped her find her voice.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
In more ways than one.
Because of her medical condition, they didn't know if she would ever be able to make any vocalizations.
Now, McKay is the lead singer of her band at Camp the Moon Howlers.
It's how amazing, how far we've come.
Our song is about how we work together as a team, like a pack of wolves.
Take a listen. This is the Moon Howlers doing a sound check before the end of camp show.
And she has an incredible voice. She's hitting a high G. That's like the top of my range.
I can hit a high G and not be scared about it.
The Moon Howlers! When it's showtime, McKay's not scared to make her voice loud enough so the crowd can't help but see who she is.
Be able to have your voice heard. Oh yes, I'm big, I'm powerful, I'm strong, but also to get that meaning across of the song. A lot of times, people can really change.
In Madison,
It makes my heart sing.
Madeline O'Neill for WISC News 3.
Wow, amazing story. McKay says she hopes to grow up to become a music teacher by day and a rock star by night, of course. Girls Rock Camp Madison will host 2 more week-long camps this summer, and you can find more information on our website, channel3000.com. Coming up next on News 3 at 10, a heat wave continues in the Midwest and the Northeast. Dave will tell you how long it's going to last. Plus, a unique championship is encouraging us all to take a deep breath. We'll take you to the yoga championships coming up after the break. Welcome back. Competitive yoga. It seems like an oxymoron, but the yogis in today's competition say it's all in the spirit. Amy Reed shows us what it looks like.
The room is nearly silent when the competitors take the stage. Spectators quiet, but still supportive. After all, it is yoga.
The beauty of this is, although these guys are all competing against each other, they all are here supporting each other.
People here are like so nice. It's very supportive. Like backstage, everyone's high-fiving, giving hugs, saying good luck.
Many of these yogis have been practicing for years, but some are new to the competitive side, even though those inside the sport say it's been around a long time.
Yoga has been a competitive activity in India, or at least Hatha yoga, for hundreds of years. It was the way that people raised funds to pay and support ashrams where people studied yoga, but it was also a way of spreading awareness to the public.
While the women are contorting on stage, the judges take notes, awarding scores based on the difficulty of the move and the execution. This one, this bending, twisting, upside down move is 7 points, but make the moves more complex, like add in some balance and even more flexibility, and it can be 10, 11, 12 points. Like this one.
So Michael's going to demonstrate crane pose. This posture is a combination of skills. It requires a tremendous amount of strength, but also a lot of flexibility in the hips and hamstrings. In addition, at the same time, it's a balance, and it's a finger standing balance, so he's standing on his fingers.
But it's not just the points.
I do it for balance, psychological and physical balance, and it's helped me unbelievably. It's really a competition with yourself.
Amy Reed, WISC News 3.
The competitors came from all over the country and spanned generations, ranging in age from 7 to 67 years old. And we saw some severe weather through our area, but not like this. Des Moines saw record flooding overnight and into the morning. Water was bursting into businesses, homes, even hotel swimming pools. There was even one reported death. Des Moines sports personality Larry Coulter died when floodwaters swept him into a creek. Wow. That is crazy looking, right, Dave?
Yeah, we had so much rain over the past couple of days, all that heat, humidity building up, and sometimes that can cause that flash flooding, especially overnight. It's really tough to get out of, and you know, it doesn't take that much flooding to really cause a lot of problems. A really unfortunate situation in Iowa. We got a lot of rain today as well from these storms, about 2 to 3 inches of rain estimated in portions of Lafayette and into Greene County, closer to Monroe, and in other spots like southeastern Dane County, about 1 to 2 inches of rain reported. Sammy the rain duck in Harrisville, that's in Marquette County, measuring about 1.5 inches of rain. Thank you so much, Sammy, for that report. Local storm reports, we did get some tree damage once again from the gusty winds out ahead of that line of thunderstorms that went through during the afternoon, mostly centralized in the Milwaukee area, but a couple north of the Dells and closer to portions of Fond du Lac. Doppler track right now is pretty quiet. These storms have moved off to the north and east. We get a few day break from the oppressive heat and humidity. It still will be rather warm and a little bit humid tomorrow, but definitely better. However, as we head into the middle of this week, just in time for July 4th, I think that comes back in full force. High temperatures today made it into the upper 80s in Madison, 94 in Milwaukee, and 89 in Rockford, a little bit closer to home. We did hit 90 in Janesville, 86 in Mineral Point, and 84 was the high in Wisconsin Dells. Now, temperatures at the present time, we're at 73 in Watertown, 73 in Janesville, and 72 in Madison. Dew points in the 60s. So still a little bit humid out there, but not too bad, especially comparing it to the last couple of days. July statistics, we are typically in July right around 81 or 82 degrees for the entire month, and I think we're going to be quite a bit warmer than that, especially in the middle of this week. Independence Day weather stats, last year we were at 83 on July 4th. I think we'll be about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than that, and we could have the warmest Independence Day since 2012 when we were in the triple digits, and we also could have the first bit of rain on Independence Day in about 13 years. Tonight, temperatures in the 60s, no rain to worry about. As we head into tomorrow, partly sunny and warm with highs in the mid-80s. Now, future track heat index looking at still a little bit on the warm side in the upper 80s and low 90s over the next couple of days. And that goes into Tuesday as well. It could feel like the low to mid 90s as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday being July 4th. So your 7-day forecast showing things a little bit cooler by the weekend. Hopefully a cold front can rescue us, and I don't think it will bring us that much rain, but as we head into the following week, that's when our rain chances start to come back a little bit.
All right, thank you so much, Dave. Well, Madison's Jerry Kelly led for the first 3 rounds. Could he get it done at the U.S. Senior Open? Those highlights coming up next in sports.
News 3.
Well, Orlando Arcia back down to AAA, struggling at the plate as of late, batting .197 in 66 games. This is the second time the shortstop has been sent to the minors. In exchange, the Brewers bringing right-handed pitcher Aaron Wilkerson back up. He made an appearance on the mound today. Now, Freddie Peralta starting today, but having some issues to start. Already down 2-0 against the Reds. Scott Schebler adding to that lead for Cincinnati, 3-0. That was before the rains came and the tarp came out. Wilkerson, we mentioned earlier, coming in to relieve Peralta in the 6th, but Didn't get much better after that. Jose Peraza, the Grand Slam 9th of the year for the Reds, tying a single-season club record. Now, Ryan Braun did hit a home run in the 9th inning, but too little too late. Brewers lose 8-2 the final. The team hosting the Twins tomorrow night. NBA free agency starting promptly at 12:01 Eastern this morning, and the Bucks wasting no time, snagging a guy who will play his second stint in Milwaukee. Former 76ers power forward Ersan Ilyasova is coming back to the Bucks. The 31-year-old signing a 3-year, $21 million contract with the team. The Turkish Thunder, as he was known, started his career in Milwaukee, playing his first 7 seasons here. His wife and 2 daughters also still living in Wisconsin. And in case you haven't heard, if you don't have the internet or anything, LeBron James heading to the Lakers in a deal that's worth $154 million over 4 years. He'll be the first player to lead a postseason in scoring and then switch teams. He reportedly was only considering the Cavaliers and Lakers. His meeting with the 76ers was evidently just a courtesy. Jerry Kelly continuing to dominate on the links, leading the pack at the U.S. Senior Open Championship in Colorado Springs, hoping to win his first ever senior major championship. But it was a tough day for him after leading for the first 3 rounds. Bogeyed hole 6 here, one of his 3 on the day. Also birdied 1 hole. He ends up finishing in 2nd place for the 2nd week in a row, shooting a 72 today to drop to 2 under. Quicken Loans National final round, and Tiger Woods showing out on the greens here. Hole 8, a long birdie putt to put him at 10 under. He finished the day tied for 4th place. But the winner, Francesco Molinari, he tied for the lead coming into the day. Par putt on 18 here for his first PGA victory. Shot a 62 today to put him at 22 under overall. NASCAR at the Overton's 400 at Chicagoland in Joliet, Illinois. Wild ending to this one. Last lap, Kyle Busch behind Kyle Larson, bumps him from behind, then passes him to take the checkered flag. It would be Busch's 5th win of the year. More round of 16 action from the World Cup. Spain taking on host country Russia. This one coming down to penalty kicks, and it was all this guy hasn't made. It's payday for former Mets third baseman and right fielder Bobby Bonilla. Here's the deal. The Mets owed Bonilla $5.9 million for the 2000 season. Didn't want him anymore, so the team negotiated with his agent, who is the best agent ever because he negotiated this, to attach an 8% annual interest rate to that $5.9 million every July 1st from the year 2000 to 2035. So today he gets $1,193,248.20. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day, everyone. We'll be right back.
Day planner for tomorrow starting out in the mid-60s. Temperatures will make it into the mid-80s for highs, with the heat index could feel like the low 90s, so not too bad outside.
All right, thanks for joining us. Have a great night. Ooh.